Hello and welcome to Lunchtime Politics on Channels Television. I'm Coyote Kikulu, and here are the major political stories making the rounds at noontime. Heavy floods hit Lagos as it puts to test the commercial capital's flood prevention and preparedness strategy. From the island to the mainland, commuters are stranded in some parts as a downpour floods the roads. Edo State government gives former Deputy Governor Philip Shaibu 7 days to return 22 government vehicles allegedly still in his possession, puts security agencies on notice. Nigeria emerges the EU's largest trading partner with 35 billion euros in trade relations, as well as its biggest investor with 26 billion euros. What's in it for Nigeria, you ask? Well, we find out. We'll begin with developing story. Residents of Lagos, Nigeria's commercial capital, woke up to a heavy downpour which took over some major roads, leading many residents, leaving them stranded, while some others endure the traffic on the flooded roads. The affected areas cut across Lagos Island and the mainland, such as the popular Iyanoworo-Alapomeji area heading to the third mainland bridge, causing long traffic that extended to the Alakbere area. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET, predicted thunderstorm and rains from today, Wednesday, up until Friday across the country. When NIMET's weather outlook released on Tuesday, the nation's capital predicted morning thunderstorms on Wednesday, that's today, over parts of Jigawa, Kano, Katsina, Sokoto, Kebbi, Zamfara, Taraba, and Adamawa State.
The rains are here. Major parts of Lagos is affected by the downpour. From mainland to Lagos Island, nowhere is spared. Iyanoworo inward third mainland bridge is completely taken over by flood. Toluwashe area of Bega, Oworoshoki residential area is also submerged. Ikotu Road is not left out. Tricycle operators are trying to make their way through the water. Egbeda Akunwajo Road is overflowing. Some motorists struggle to drive through the flood. Ogba leading to Wemko Road is not so bad, but as a result of the rainfall, traffic is already building in some parts like Agege, Inward Ogba, and it's congested. While residents of the state are appealing to the government to clear the drainage more often to avoid flood disaster, there's also the responsibility of managing waste better.
Now, we'll keep our eyes on what's playing out in Lagos and in other parts of the country. Let's head to Sokoto State now, where the Sultanate Council has expressed readiness to work and support the Sokoto State government, as well as operate within the laws made by the government for the council. And that's amidst some sort of controversy around whether or not the government may be making moves against the traditional council. Well, a representative of the Sultan, Mohammed Jabik Al-Guri, stated this at a public hearing at the State House of Assembly on Tuesday in the Northwest State. The public hearing was on a bill for a law to further amend the Sokoto State Local Government and Chieftaincy Law 2008. Earlier in June, the State High Court issued an order restraining Governor Ahmed Aliyu from sacking 2 of the 15 district heads, which his government earlier removed from their seats. A religious organization, Muslim Rights Concern Murik, had also alleged a plot by the state government to dethrone the Sultan of Sokoto, a claim that has been refuted by the government. And now to South. For some months now, in fact, more than 6 months, the sealing of some oil depots continues to create frustration for residents and business owners in Koko community of Delta State. And the residents in a protest say their situation has really degenerated as they now struggle to meet their daily obligations. They have called on the federal government to look into their plight, unseal the depot, and also move the vessel blocking the water channels.
Koko community plays host to many oil and gas servicing operations, including Taros Oil and Gas Depot, Dan Marina Depot, Green Mac Oil Export Depot, and Sayers Oil Depot. There's now absence of economic activities as a result of the sealing of the depot, which has been in this condition for over 6 months now. This NNPC vessel is also being used to block the jetty, which serves other depots in the area. But according to residents here, it also poses a major threat to the lives and properties.
This can make it come out from here. The suffer, that's why we suffer, don't do.
The protesters, who this time took their protest to this parked vessel, narrate how the action has caused untold hardship.
Don't tire, but to the stay house is how many months? When they open this place or when they come out the chief.
Unhappy about the situation, residents carrying placards and chanting solidarity songs marched towards the vessel, venting their anger and frustration.
Sometimes I go carry food come, I go return the food go house. So I know the sea market.
According to other business owners also using the jetty, over 200 million litres of petroleum products are evacuated from those depots monthly. And the absence of this products distribution channel in this axis is one of the reasons for scarcity of petroleum products in the north.
The product that has been stored with us, we cannot backload. We have been forestalled, like standing one place for a whole 6 months, and it is impacting negatively on the operations of the depot, which also indirectly is impacting on all other people that depend on us to backload their product.
Our members pay for products and they cannot leave their products. And we all know that products are very expensive to leave to borrow money from the bank, and our money have been tied down.
From here, they also head to the premises of the Warri North Local Government Council, where they met with a representative who receives them and promises to relay their message to the appropriate authorities.
If you say a company brought in water, go and take your laboratory analysis. We call it the laboratory analysis of water. The water in Koko and the water in Sapele cannot be the same. The water in Escravos and the water in Koko cannot be the same. From there, you can know where the water comes from.
Or the council, we also write a report concerning what has just transpired, this peaceful protest. And I want to also beg you people to maintain this peace, the already existing peace in this region.
The depot was locked up when a team from the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority discovered that about 9 of the 20 million litres of PMS in a cargo was loaded with water.
Well, let's now take you to Edo State, where students of the University of Benin, as you can see, are staging a protest over a power outage that has been on for over 3 weeks and counting. The students insist that this has made life difficult for them and the school. But this morning, they took the demonstration up a notch by blocking the outbound Lagos-Benin Expressway. All vehicles are now having to continue their journeys only on the inbound route. The main gate of the school is shut whilst the demonstration continues. Before our team, reporters were chased off by the students. Some of them who spoke to us behind camera say the stress has been unbearable. Now, while that is playing out in the academic sector, there's also a lot of activities politically in Edo State at large, and that's in the build-up to the coming governorship election in the states. There's been lots of activities, not just from INEC, which we looked at yesterday, but within the political parties, the ones vying to take the #1 spot in the state. And this morning, we turn our attention to the Labour Party, and find out what exactly is going on within the party amidst what some have called a war of attrition right there in the Labour Party. We have joining us for that conversation Prince Egbe Amardion, who was a governorship aspirant within the Labour Party, and he's Labour Party's chair for the United Kingdom, joins us virtually on the program. Welcome to Lunchtime Politics, Prince Amardion.
Good afternoon. I can hear you loud and clear.
Oh, great. Let's begin with the situation generally in Edo State, and we'll tie this to the forthcoming elections, particularly because there are lots of expectations from the electorate, the people, infrastructure, power, agriculture, the economy at large, even security as well. So there's really a lot at stake for the people of Edo. Now let's come to your party, the Labour Party, which says, well, we're capable to take power from the PDP, at least judging by our candidate. But when you look inwards within your party, there's still a battle within your party, the Labour Party. There's still factions within the party. So speak to us today. Have the issues been resolved before we now go deeper?
Okay. It would be abnormal for any political party not to have any internal issues. So if I say they are resolved completely, then I will be dishonest. And integrity is one of the things we pride ourselves with. We've got issues like every other political parties, and we are resolving them amicably. And the good news is that the worst of these issues is behind us. We are moving on strategically. We are taking our force and campaign strength into the Edo populace. We are telling them what we can do. We are basing it on issues. In terms of, at national level, we have issues, but we are resolving them. We are sitting at the table, getting things straightened out. Like in every other political party, we are aware of PDP, where the former deputy governor is now calling the governor and the government a liar because they're still trying to retrieve some of the state properties that are in his possession. So we don't want to go into that. We want to be able to tell Edo people what is really going on and why they should choose Labour Party.
So speak to us, because the Labour Party has its heart, in some sense, in Edo State. The chairman of the Labour Party, yes, there's been contention about that position. But Mr. Julius Abure is from Edo State. So the stakes are really high when it comes to this one. So let's start from the specifics. Are they on talking terms now? I'm talking about the governorship candidate of your party, Mr. Olumide Akpata, and Mr. Julius Abure. Are they on talking terms?
Mr. Julius Abure and Barrister Olumide Akpata are in talking terms. There are still a couple of important issues that we are trying to resolve and completely strengthen out the relationship. But right now, the relationship, I will say, is cordial, and we're still working on it to make it excellent.
So you're saying that Mr. Julius Abure is given Mr. Olumide Akpata so far his full support, his full backing?
I will not say what we have seen is full backing, but in actual fact, Julius Abure is fully backing the Edo State candidate, Barrister Olumide Akpata. Julius Abure will be coming out very soon to make an honorable statement. Julius Abure is a man of, reasonable integrity. We believe in him, and we know that very soon he will be down with us on campaign stream. We've still got July, August before the election, so we've still got time to strengthen things out completely.
I'm asking this because what people will say is, well, show me what you have right now. And that's what I'll use to judge what you can do, or at least what you have done so far is what I'll use to judge what you can do. So there are questions as to how well Labour Party can handle the affairs of a much bigger entity like Edo State, when it's still finding it difficult to sort out in-house issues. And I'm talking from the national even to the state level. Some months ago, we saw some of the members of the party, one faction, going against another, and it even ended brutal. We saw Mr. Abure being arrested. We've seen the Papa versus Abure. Now it looks like they're back together, and it's against the NLC now. So it looks really messy. So speak to the average Edo citizen, the average electorate, who's looking at Labour Party and is saying, can we really trust you with the mantle of leadership?
Good question. Now, the average Edo person, you should be able to trust Barrister Olumide Akpata, and I will tell you why. First and foremost, Barrister Olumide Akpata intended initially to come out as an independent candidate. But unfortunately, the Constitution of Nigeria does not allow independent candidates. Why am I bringing out this fact? It's because I want you to see that Barrister Olumide Akpata is almost a separate entity. His personality, character, ability, and competence cannot be fused into the dilemma or whatever confusion there is within the ranks of the leadership of the political party. However, because of these constitutional constraints, Barrister Olumide Akpata had to make a choice, and he chose the Labour Party. The reason he chose the Labour Party is based on his ideology of social democracy, which puts the people back in the picture, in the center of politics. And that is why he's there. So these confusions may be there. We are aware that most of these leaders in Labour Party existed even before His Excellency Peter Obi, the former governor of Anambra State, joined the party. So we have existed. The only issues we are having now is how to move from the old guard within the party in terms of leadership to the new guard. And it's not easy for some people to accept change. It's not easy for some people to accept to lose what they find as lucrative. Therefore, these challenges are natural. However, like I said previously, we are working our way through them. The Nigeria Labour Congress and all other stakeholders of the party have met. We have resolved, and a national transition committee have been set up. And we are working very, very assiduously. And Peter Obi came out only recently with the chairman of the transition committee, the national chairman, Abdul Wahid Umar. And, we are talking to people, we are holding serious meetings, and that is being resolved. That should have nothing to do with the capacity of Barrister Olumide Akpata. Barrister Olumide Akpata is an ideology in himself. He's a man who has proved himself at national level whilst he was the president of the Nigerian Bar Association. And he has come to Edo State to deliver. If you look at what is happening in Edo State, we have been so disappointed. No one has enjoyed the kind of support that the current government enjoyed, especially when there was a duel between Obaseki and, ex-governor Oshomole. We did, the whole people of Edo State, both at home and in the diaspora, we came forcefully behind him. Today, some of us are trying to assuage our conscience. We had free education, free notebooks, free pencils, free textbooks to go to school. Many of us left the country, to look for greener pastures. Right. That created a brain drain after we've been, spoon-fed free education, free health for years. And then we came to a different country and we are using our skills to promote these countries when we can come back. It's time for brain gain, and we need to bring our people back. And Olumide Akpata is the one that's going to do that. This current government has had 8 years, 4 years under APC, 4 years under PDP. Therefore, the people of Edo State, the ordinary person in Edo State knows, if you are better off, I will say continue to vote for them. I don't think there is anyone in Edo State that is better off. It's time for real change, and that real change is represented today by Barrister Olumide Akpata. Thank you.
There's still the ethnic colorations of sorts, sub-ethnicities, and that is coming up to play. And I know that debate is out there, but I'm going to leave that for the political debaters to get into. But I want you to speak to this. So over time, we've seen some members of the obedient movement supporting the PDP candidate, Asue Godalu. Now, of late, we've seen some of them, a number of them, sizable, supporting the APC candidate now. So the question is, who's behind Mr. Akpata at this point? If a lot of the obedient movement people are saying, well, we're choosing to support either the PDP candidate or even the APC candidate.
Okay, now there's a lot of confusion. personally, I am Prince Dr. Igbe Omorodion. I am first and foremost an obedient. I am one of those that were inspired by His Excellency Peter Obi in politics. And it was my role as the founder and convener of Diaspora for Obi and Dati that brought me out into the political limelight. And, I ended up becoming the chairman of Labour Party in the United Kingdom. So I'm an obedient. I was also the chairman of the coalition in the United Kingdom of support groups. And I still remain in that position, joint position. Now, I know all the support groups, I know all the conveners, I know all the obedience. I have played a great role both at national, state, and local level within the obedient realm. And therefore, I can tell you that the obedients are looking for people who will bring good governance to Nigeria. We are not necessarily affiliated to any political party, which means as time goes on, as Olumide Akpata continues to deliver his manifesto, continue to express himself, and the people will continue to tell them the truth about this government that is still at Osadebe Avenue, the people will begin to realize the need. Now, in terms of the obedient movement, we have still millions of obedients out here who are supporting Barrister Olumide Akpata. Of course, there is hunger in the land. There are many people who are easily influenced, by, I don't want to make it sound negative. For one reason or the other, who are happy to move, but there are still many of us, majority of us, over 75% of the obedient who are well behind the candidacy of Barrister Olumide Akpata. For example, I'll use myself. I have been influenced. I have been offered so many things, some in writing, to move. No, those of us who have integrity know where we stand. We know where we belong. And I can assure you that majority of the obedient who are honest, because all we are hungry for is a new Nigeria. And in this situation, particularly a new Edo state, that is what we're asking for. I'm from Edo. I'm a Benin man, and I'm proud of that. You did mention some ethnic coloration. Probably you're referring to things like the Esan agenda, the Benin agenda. We do not have any other agenda except the Edo agenda. And as far as I'm concerned, I remember on the 22nd of January this year, you actually interviewed me with regards to the 30 million naira that Labour Party was imposing on the aspirants, which, I was completely against at that time. I remember you asked a very important question that, was it fair for a Benin man to be living Osadebe Avenue and another Benin man coming in? And I remember exactly the answer I gave to you on that occasion. That what was fair was that the most competent amongst us, should lead. I believe in meritocracy. Meritocracy does not only depend on competence. It depends on so many of other factors. Barrister Olumide Akpata is a progressive. Whilst, for example, the PDP candidate is a conservative. It's time to move. The conservatives don't like huge changes.
Well, Prince Omorodion, as we wind down now quickly, just in less than 30 seconds, so are you saying that the people that have declared support for either, I'm talking about the obedients who have declared support for either the PDP or APC candidate, are you saying they were induced and they accepted the inducement?
Some of them have. I can't speak for everybody. Some of them have. I have been induced, but I haven't moved. So I can speak for myself.
How are we sure you weren't induced to support Mr. Akpata then?
No, I can't be induced to support Mr. Akpata because I personally, I am comfortable enough not to be influenced by any inducement. Okay.
All right.
So because of that, however, we live in a society in Nigeria where many people are not in my position.
All right.
Okay. I'm talking economically. Therefore, it becomes difficult sometimes when offered certain things to refuse. Yes.
Well, we have to anchor at this point. Looks like the coming days will be quite interesting. 79 days to go. I'm sure you're counting. So we'll definitely be touching base from time to time and watching how this plays out. And we hope for peace in the land. Thank you so much. We've been speaking with Prince Igbe Omorodion.
If you don't mind, can I just take 2 seconds more?
Well, we're totally out of time, Prince Omorodion. So here's what we'll do. Maybe subsequent editions, we'll have time for this, extra thought that you have to put in. But we'll have to thank you so much for your time, Prince Omorodion.
thank you so much for having me. And I'm glad that the people of Edo State now knows where I stand and my position with this upcoming campaign. Thank you so much.
Well, I see what you did there. You still took your 2 seconds. Thank you for your time, Mr. Morrissey.
I'm a politician, sir.
I'll let that slide. We'll move on now. A bill for an act to repeal the National Identity Management Commission Act 2007, providing for the establishment of a national identity base and the National Identity Management Commission charged with the responsibilities for maintaining the national database, the registration of individuals, and issuance of identity credentials has passed second reading at the National Assembly. The bill read for the first time on June the 5th and sponsored by the Deputy Senate President, Senator Barrow Jibrin, seeks to enhance the efficiency and inclusivity of the identity management system through comprehensive provisions designed to improve and update the extant provisions in line with global best practices. In a lead debate, the proposed legislation is termed as crucial for the socio-economic and political development of the country, as well as to the national security and effective identity management system. Well, the objective of the bill also includes streamlining the sharing of personal data, incorporating robust data protection measures to safeguard the privacy and confidentiality of individuals' personal data, and fosters trust among citizens in handling of their information, among others. Well, let's now take you back to one of our lead stories, and it concerns the Edo State political situation. Well, the Edo State government has issued 7-day ultimatum to former Deputy Governor of the state, Mr. Philip Shaibu, to return over 20 vehicles allegedly in his possession. The State Commissioner of Information and Orientation, Chris Osane-Ekare, disclosed this in a statement in Benin City, the state capital. Recall that Mr. Shaibu was impeached by the State House of Assembly in April after he fell out with Governor Basaki, allegedly over his gubernatorial ambition. Mr. Ekare, in a statement, indicates that should the former deputy governor fail to obey the directive, and security agencies have been put on alert to retrieve the vehicles said to be in his possession. Just before we go, let's tell you that the European Union ambassador to Nigeria, Samuel Esopi, has announced that Nigeria remains the EU's largest trading partner with 35 billion euros in trade last year. At the EU-Nigeria Business Forum, she noted that the EU-Nigeria trade relations are valued at 26 billion euros, a third of Nigeria's foreign direct investment, and commended Nigeria for paying over 90% of the 850 million euros owed to European airlines. And that's the program for this afternoon. Thank you for watching. I'm Kayode Kikilu. Do stay with Channels Television for all the breaking news and the political stories. Goodbye.